how's it going? So it's 7 a.m. here and I just want to talk about my project. I know in the last video I said that I was going to launch a Steam page. I looked into that and there's a lot involved in terms of the graphics and screenshots and things, and although I have seen advice to just make a Steam page with Scratch graphics, I think I am not an artistic person, and the graphics that I produce, I'm just not ready to put that up yet. So Steam page will come at some point, but I just want to talk about the project a little bit. I'm going to reveal the story and that'll be it. So top level view, it's going to be a two-dimensional platformer with arena combat elements. Now what that means is you will have sections of platforming, exploration, environmental hazards and stuff like that, and then at some point you'll come along into an area and it'll lock off on all sides, and that'll become an arena. Waves of enemies will spawn, you'll have to destroy. Once all those waves are destroyed, the arena will be unlocked, you can move on. That's sort of the basic gameplay loop. Now, the project itself has sort of two unique strengths, one of which is the artwork, and the second of which is the story. So let's start with the artwork. Side note, sort of getting into the spirit of this project, I've been watching a lot of game dev YouTubers. Have you noticed there's sort of and this isn't to disparage it, but have you noticed there's sort of a sameness? So the art style I'm going with here is not particularly high fidelity, but I like it. It's got a cool look. What I'll do, or actually I'll probably end up hiring someone to do this, but what the artist will do is basically sketch the sprites out on paper, physically cut out the outlines of the sprites and scan them in. Those will be assembled with skeletal animation so that the final asset looks like physical paper, or a shadow puppet or something. If you've been watching my devlogs, you will know what I'm talking about. It's animated smoothly, looks a little strange, but yeah, it's got a physical, tactile feel to it. I like that. Let's talk about the story. So the game is called Knack's Quest. Knack's Quest. Knack is on a quest. It's based around the Thai folklore of Mae Nak, who, again, if you watch my previous video on visiting the Mae Nak shrine in Bangkok, I talk a little bit about the story, the legend. But in the legend, Mae Nak is a ghost and her husband is alive. But in this version of the story, I'm going to shorten it down. The husband and child pass away. Sorry, the baby dies in both legends, but the husband and child are dead and Mae Nak is alive. But in order to save them from potentially, going to the underworld, Mae Nak is granted ghost powers. So she's a person with ghost powers, and she has to travel around the spirit world and the underworld and places like that and battle with traditional Thai ghosts in order to eventually save her husband and baby. By the way, if you hear any music playing, this is all concept stuff. What I've been doing the past few days, in addition to working on the game, is I've been downloading bits of music which I think would have a nice feel for the game, downloading reference images for the characters. So yeah, let's talk about the characters and stuff while he plays some music. So Mae Nak encounters various ghosts. These are some of them, not all of them. We have Nang Tani, the Lady Tani. She's helpful. She's a friendly ghost she haunts banana trees, and the way you know that Nang Tani is haunting a banana tree is if there's a silk bow tied around the base of the tree. Anyway, so in the myth, in the legend, she gives bananas to traveling monks, and so in the game what she'll do is, if you go past a tree and it's got a silk bow, she can throw bananas at you to heal you. We're also going to have Kumantong. Now Kumantong are the spirits of stillborn babies. By the way, this game is sort of going to strike a balance between like dark and cute at the same time. Anyway, so Kumantong are the spirits of stillborn babies, and so of course they're going to help Maynak. Maynak is a mother. Now these babies feature as a sort of ammunition. They're sort of explosives. You can collect them through the game. You can release them. They walk along and then they explode to take out enemies and stuff. Of course, we have Maynak herself. I'll put some concept art up as well. Then we have Krasu. Now Krasu, they're probably one of the cooler enemies in the game, I would say, because they have such a distinct design. But if you remember the Lost Souls from Doom, they're sort of like that. So Krasu are female ghosts. They're disembodied heads, where they have their entrails hanging out down below. And the entrails actually glow in the dark. They're luminescent, so that'd be very cool to code up as well. Get that up there on the screen. But they're very mobile. Their weapons are projectiles. They spit acid and stuff. And the easiest way to destroy them is they have a body. The body will be somewhere in the level. So if you find the body and jump on the body, destroy the body, that's the easiest way to destroy a Krasu. We also have Krahang, and Krahang are sort of like the male counterpart of a Krasu. They fly by means of rice baskets, one in each hand, and those rice baskets can also double as shields. So if you attack a Krahang and you signpost your moves too obviously, it will be able to drop down into a defensive stance and block you. It can't fly when it's using its shields to block, but it's also invulnerable for that period. So you have to sort of time that just right. We're also going to have Preta. Now Preta are giants. They're giant ghosts. And what they do is they sort of spit out other ghosts as their attack. But periodically they get tired, they stick their tongue out, and that tongue is their weak point. So they are completely invulnerable until they're tired, and again you have to time the attacks. Probably enough to share at this point in time about my project. Now, I'm currently working on a demo which I aim tentatively to have completed by the end of February, I want to say. After that demo, the main push is going to begin. The aim will be to get the whole thing done, I want to say, by February next year. For some reason I'm going with February's, I don't know. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Now, in terms of what that means for the channel, there is going to be a change in content. I can't multitask. I can't do too many things at once. This is something I've learned the hard way. But there's going to be a change away from general tutorials. More of a focus now on documenting the project. Now, I understand that I am community funded. I do appreciate that. If you feel that you don't want to support this game development situation that I'm pivoting to for the meantime, for the time being, I completely understand. Totally fine. No worries, no hard feelings. I do appreciate you guys just watching these videos. It's very cool. We've all been there. I was by myself in the basement doing things, so to speak. In a sense, I will continue to be in the basement. But, yeah. I think that's it for now. I had some technical updates that I was going to do. I'm trying to do just a maximum of one devlog per day. I know how silly that sounds. I know how crazy that sounds, one devlog per day. But one thing that I'm committing to with this project is, although I don't want to be spending heaps of time documenting my progress, I do want to be constantly showing what I'm working on, because it's not always pretty. It's not always a groundbreaking day. I think yesterday I was working on instance rendering right up until the point where I realized it wouldn't work and I had to scrap the whole thing. Oh, side note. For this project, this will be cross-platform. Linux, Mac, Windows. It's going to support all of that. It's going to be done with my own engine, and that's all I'll say on that. Constant updates, small updates. That's how I'm going to go with this. Maybe up until the point when the demo is done, at which point I'll have to start pulling the veil of secrecy over it a little bit, because we want to keep some of the magic alive. But I am starting to ramble now, which is a good indicator that I've said everything I needed to. So get excited about the project. I'm super psyched, and I will see you again soon. Bye.